Hello everyone, welcome back to CATmosphere. My name is Riya Agarwal, and in this series we are seeing different problem sets from different topics of logical reasoning section. So this series will be helpful to anyone who is preparing for entrance exam, which includes logical reasoning as one of the section of the exam. Alright, so this is a check your understanding test series, as in you have to pause the video when you get the question and try the question on your own before you proceed to see the solution. Also, the time that you require to try the set will be mentioned on the set itself. So that is about it. Let's begin. Here we have a set on games in tournament with maximization minimization concept involved. Let's see it. A team of 5 players, Arpit, Bimal, Chatur, Dinu and Elan, participated in a cricket tournament and played 4 matches, 1 to 4. The following table gives the partial information about their individual scores and the total runs scored by the team in each match. Each column has 2 missing values. These are the runs scored by 2 lowest scorers in the match. None of the 2 missing values is more than 10% of the total runs scored in that match. Alright. So it is a case of incomplete table. In these cases, the best approach is to take down the table and then fill it and then proceed with the questions. Okay. So we are going to start with that. You can pause the video here and try out the set on your own before you proceed to see the solution. Let's begin with the solution. Okay, so I'll take down the table first. You can just quickly do it. Arpit, Bimal, Chatur, Dinu and Lan. Okay, this is match 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so the values that are given already, would take them down: 88, 72, 60 and 270 is the total. Next we have 100, 65, 75, 300. Next we have 110, 20, 78, 240 and lastly 53, 52, 56, 200. Alright. Now remaining parts we have to fill it, and the only information is that, see, we have the total, we have 3 people's score, so we can subtract these 3 from the total to get the score of these 2. Okay, and then we have one very important information, that none of these 2 values can be more than 10%. It cannot be more than 10%, which means it will have to be less than equal to 10% of the total, which means this Chatur and Arpit individually will have values less than equal to 27. 10% of 270 is 27. So these two will have the values less than equal to 27. Alright, let's check the difference. So if you take 88 plus 72 plus 60, what will that be? 240. 88 plus 72. 160 plus 60, 220. Okay, so the difference will be 50, which means Chatur plus Arpit are together going to have 50. But what can be their individual scores? It cannot be more than 27. So if one of them have 27, the other one will have 23. So we can say that these are the scores that they can have. Okay, and their total for the 2 missing players will be 50. 23 to 27, 23 to 27. Okay, how? Because 10% of 270 is 27. So neither Chatur nor Arpit can have more than 27. If one of them have 27, other will have 23. If other have, suppose 25, the other also can have 25, 25, 25 or 26, 24, anything like that. But again, it cannot go out of the range, because again, the highest for one of them is 27. So to get the total of 50, other one will have 23. Okay. Similarly, we'll go to the next case. 100 and 75. 175 plus 25, that is 200 plus 40. 240, which means the difference is 60. And the maximum that they can be is 10% of 300, that is 30. So we see that it is exactly sufficing. 30 and 30. That gives you 60. Okay. In the next case, 110 plus 78 is 188, 198, 208. So the total is 208, which means 32 is the missing score. Now these two together are going to have 32, but who can have what? So if we look at the highest possible value, it is 10%, that is 24. But can one of these two have 24? No. Why? Because Dinu himself, who is among the top 3 scorers, have only 20. So maximum that Arpit and Bimal can have individually is 19, not more than that, because otherwise they will surpass Dinu, which is not possible because Dinu is in the top 5, like top 3 scorers among the 5, and Arpit and Bimal are not. So if one of them have 19, the other will have 13 to fulfill the 32, which means the range of values that Arpit and Bimal can have is 13 to 19. Similarly, for the last case, 50, 50, 50, that is 150 plus 11, 161, which means 39 is the difference. Okay, now if we take 10% of 200, it will be 20, which means the highest that one of these two can have is 20. So if one of them have a 20, other will have 19, which means these are the two values that these two can have. That's it. Once you have the table filled in this manner, you can go to the questions. So because based on the given information, this is what we could have found, and we have already found it. So let's go to the question. First question is, what is the maximum possible percentage contribution of Arpit in the total runs scored in the 4 matches? Maximum possible contribution of Arpit. Okay, so if you want to take the maximum possible contribution for him, we'll take the higher values. Okay, like 27 here, 19 here, and these two are anyways fixed. So what do we have the total for Arpit? 100 plus 53, 153 plus 27, that is 180. 180 plus 19 is 199. Okay, so 199 is the highest that Arpit can contribute to the 4 matches, and that is what percentage of the total? So take the total of all the 4 matches. It is 200, 300, 500, 500, 500,000, 1010. The total is 1010, right? 70 plus 40 is 110. That's how we get 1010. Okay, so 199 divided by 1010 into 100. So you need to do the calculation exact, because we see that the values are very close. 19.7, 19.9, 20.1 and 20.2. Since the values are very close, we are going to do exact calculations. Let's do it. So this and this 10 you can cancel. It is 1990 divided by 101. So first we divide it by 1 and we get 101, that is 890. So we are doing it in so much detail because the values are very close and we don't want to end up doing any mistake. Okay, next we go with 9. That will be 909. Alright, so we have 710. Okay, so we have to go with 7, which means the answer is 19.7, that is option A. Okay, next question. First question, the answer is option A. Second question, if the absolute difference between the total runs scored by Arpit and Chatur in the 4 matches is minimum possible. Alright, if the total score have to be minimum possible, the difference have to be minimum possible, then what are we supposed to do? Let's see, let's take the range of total for these people. Like for Arpit, we just now calculated the total, highest total range is 199. What is the lowest? For lowest you have to consider 23 and 13 instead of 27 and 19. So 6 you can subtract from here and 4 from here, that is 10, which means it will be 189. Okay, for Chatur also we'll do the same. Take 23, 27. Like you have to also consider that when Arpit have 23, Chatur will have what? 27, no? Chatur will have 27. So you have to keep that in mind. Okay, and then calculate. So 110 plus 30 is 140. Yeah, 140 plus 20, 160, 170, 180, 187. So it is 186, or what can we take? If we take 23 for Chatur, what is the total we are going to get? So we need to consider both the total and try to take the absolute difference between Arpit and Chatur in all the matches. Okay, and that is what do we have to take is minimum. They are telling that if it is minimum, Then what is the absolute difference between the total runs scored by Bimal and Ilan in the 4 matches? All right. See, this we cannot manipulate. It is what it is. 100 plus 53 and this 110 plus 30. It is fixed as what it is. We can only manipulate this. So to get more, like to get, sorry, minimum difference between these two, of course, one of these have to be 23 and 27. We'll keep this as 27 and this as 23. Why? Because this is already having a higher value when we compare to this. The total right now is 140 and here the total is already 153. So to reduce the total of Arpit, to bring it closer to Chatur, we will take 23 in this case and 27 in this case. Alright? Okay. And what about this 19 and 20? Again, we will try to keep it more. Okay, keeping this as more will do what? Keeping this as more will again bring the value of Arpit and Chatur closer. Okay, which means this should end up as 19. Alright, again for Arpit, what we will do, we'll keep it as 13 and not 19. Why? To keep the difference between Arpit and Chatur to be minimum. Okay, because see, 13 was already more for Arpit, no? So we are trying to keep the values, other values minimum for Arpit and maximum for Chatur, so that their difference can be further minimized. Alright, so what do we have here if we take these two values? 110, 30, 27 and 20 is 187. 187. And for this Arpit we have 189. Okay, that's how we get the minimum difference between Arpit and Chatur, which is 2. Now what we have to do is, what is the absolute difference between the runs scored by Bimal and Ilan? So Bimal we know now have to be 19 here, because for Arpit we have to consider 13. So take the total for Bimal, 88 plus 52, that is 140, 205, 215, 224. And for this one, what is it? Ilan. For Ilan it is 60, 30, 20. That is 110, 188. 188, okay, minus 1. So 187. Alright, so we have to take the difference between these two, 224 minus 187. So what are we getting? 24 plus 13, that is 37. So the correct answer in this case is, 1 was A, 2 is B. 2 is B. The answer is 37. Okay? Fine. Next, what do we have? Third question. The players are ranked 1 to 5 on the basis of total runs scored by them in the 4 matches. With the highest scorer getting rank 1, it is known that no two players scored the same number of total runs. How many players are there whose rank can be exactly determined? Alright, so 189 to 199, this is the range of scores that Arpit can have. For Vimal, it's 224, we had considered 19, that is when it is 224, which means if we consider 13, it will be 6 less, so it can be 218. 218 to 224. 218 to 224. For this one, Chetan, we had got 187 when we took the higher values like 27 and 20. But what will happen if we take the lower range? So subtract from 187, 1 and 4, 5. So we have 182 to 187. For Dinu, it's fixed, it cannot change. Okay, 75 plus 75, 150, 150, 203, 223. That is fixed. For Ilan, we will only have 187 we had taken when we had taken 19. So 187 or 188. These are the possible totals. Alright, so if we have to rank them now, we can see that for how many of them can we exactly determine the rank? That is the question, right? So how many of them can be exactly, because see, Vimal can even have 224 as total. And if Vimal have 224, Vimal becomes the highest and Dinu becomes the second highest. But we cannot tell for sure, because if Vimal have anything less than 224, then Dinu will be the highest and Vimal will be the second highest. So we cannot tell for sure. But for Chetan, if you see, Chetan is the least. Okay, if Chetan have 182 or 187, Chetan will be the least, because if Chetan have 187, Ilan cannot have 187, Ilan will have to have 188, because no two of them can have the same score. So based on that, we can say for sure that Chetan is definitely going to have rank 5. Similarly, can we tell about anybody else too? Yes, we can also tell about Arpit, because Arpit have minimum 189. Okay, Ilan have 187 or 188. If Ilan have 187, Chetan will have to have anything less than 187, between 182 and 186. So we can clearly see that Chetan will be 5th rank. Chetan will be the lowest rank. Ilan will be the 4th rank. And Arpit will be the 3rd rank. It is only between Bimal and Chetan that we cannot tell their ranks. Okay, so for how many players those ranks can be exactly determined? For 3 of them. Third question, the answer is going to be C. For 3 of them, for Arpit, Chetan and Ilan, we can exactly figure out their ranks. Okay, that's it. I hope I was able to explain you the question, and I'll see you again with next question in another lesson. Thank you. Bye. Stay tuned.